Sonic Frontiers, the latest entry in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, releasing November 8th, 2022. It is being regarded as the best 3D Sonic game in over 10 years. Now, as a longtime Sonic fan, there hasn't been a title in the series that I've personally enjoyed since 2008. And even then, I wasn't super crazy about that one.
What the hell is this?
So of course, I was pretty skeptical of Frontiers. But now, having not only played it, but 100%ing it, I can say that this game is the 3D Sonic game that I have been wanting for all these years. Now, the game isn't perfect by any means, but I just want to sit down and talk about my personal experience playing this game. First things first, we should talk about the story. Without spoiling anything you won't learn about within the first 10 minutes of the game anyway. So the game starts out with a cutscene of Eggman flying to these abandoned islands called the Starfall Islands to learn about the secret of the Ancients, where he goes up to an ancient statue and plugs in what is presumably an AI device, which we later find out is named Sage. Anyways, when he does, a bunch of weird robots pop in through some portals, and then Eggman falls into the statue. The game immediately cuts to Sonic, Tails, and Amy riding on Tails' plane, and I just want to know why Sonic always has to be so extra and standing on the plane instead of sitting his happy ass down. Anyways, they're on this plane because they track the Chaos Emeralds to the Starfall Islands, of course, and as they get close, something changes in the atmosphere, and the plane immediately begins to crash. And they're falling into a portal, and it sucks Sonic and friends up, and the game starts, Sonic plunges down into Area 1-1, and the game begins. Now let's talk about the zones. The levels in the game are actually my favorite part of the game. Many of the levels in this game are actually optional. There are between 7 to 9 individual levels per island, giving us a grand total of 30 levels in the game. Many of the levels take inspiration from classic Sonic games such as Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Generations. There are two different style of levels. There are 3D and 2D levels in the game, both of which are very enjoyable, but personally I prefer the 3D levels more than likely due to the fact that I grew up with Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. The worst of the levels had to have been the drift levels, where you have to try to hit these sharp turns and the controls feel like you're running on ice. Luckily, there are only like 2 of them in the entire game, so it's not that bad. Every level has 4 missions to complete. 1, complete within a certain time. 2, collect all 5 red rings in a level. 3, collect a certain number of rings. And 4, actually completing the level. Most of the levels in the game are relatively easy to 100%, and the majority will take you about 1 to 3 tries. Except for this one level, level 1-2. The most controversial level in this game, and also my favorite. Now, people have entire full-length videos talking about this level. It is extremely hard to get the S rank time. It took me over 20 full attempts to get the S rank, but my god did it feel so good when I finally got it. I feel as though this challenge made the level so much better, and I wish some of the other levels had more difficult time requirements to S rank. 1-2 is one of my favorite Sonic levels ever. Paired with an amazing soundtrack, you will not mind sitting down, putting countless attempts, trying to S-rank it. Now let's talk about the open world. By far the most anticipated part of Sonic Frontiers is of course the open world. This was the part of the game that had fans worried, because in initial gameplay trailers, it looked extremely barren and lifeless, like an unfinished Unreal Engine project. And while yes, the areas are a bit empty, I never felt that there was nothing going on. The open world is where you spend a majority of your game time, and while it is extremely liberating to run around full speed through a big open island, it can be a bit repetitive as the game goes on. The main gameplay of Sonic Frontiers follows the same formula for pretty much every island. Collect memories in the open world, talk to one of Sonic's friends who are trapped to progress the story, fight mini-bosses to get portal keys to unlock levels, to unlock Chaos Emeralds, which you need 7 of, to beat the main boss of the island. That is the formula for about every island. At first you don't mind because you're so immersed in all the originality Sonic Frontiers has to offer, but after a while, it can get pretty tedious. However, there are all kinds of secrets and cool mini-bosses, and
Pig the cat fishing!
Possibly the most important minigame in video game history. Each island has a portal that transports you to a peaceful pond where you can just chill and catch fish. You can catch anything, from goldfish to poison dart frogs to alligators, and treasure chests. It is such a simple yet relaxing minigame, and the coins you catch from the fish you can exchange for items such as upgrade items, memories to progress in the story, portal gears, and even portal keys. Basically, you could skip a lot of the game just by fishing. The gates you use to unlock the map in the game are really cool, and as you unlock each one, you have to do a little challenge, which keeps the game fun. Now, typically, this is the area where modern Sonic games drop the ball. That's right, I am talking about the gameplay. This game was such a breath of fresh air. I played the game about a week or two after release and encountered no annoying glitches or bugs. I played the entire game with only one BS death, where I fell through the level. The game performs extremely well otherwise, in a game where it feels like Sonic is moving faster than ever before. The turning is tight, homing attack works consistently, and platforms are solid. The actual combat is pretty fun as well. Sonic has some really cool attacks, more than just spamming the attack button. The Titan fights, though, are the absolute best. You play as Super Sonic and fly around completely invincible and kick the utmost absolute ass. The biggest problem that I have with the game, without spoiling anything major, is that if you play the game on anything but hard difficulty, the final boss is just a quick time event. Boo! Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. But even if you do play the game on hard difficulty, the final boss is just a minigame. Literally, it's the same style as the quote-unquote hacking minigame. When a game completely shits the bed at the end, it kinda leaves a bad taste in the player's mouth, regardless of how fun the rest of the game was. Another complaint I have was that most zones in the game were a little too easy to get S rank in. I know Sonic is considered to be a kiddie game, but more than half of the player base is over the age of 18, and likely longtime fans of the franchise. We need a bit more of a challenge in that regard. My last big complaint is that the game's pretty short. I really feel like Sonic Frontiers deserved one more area because I 100%ed the game with only about 31 hours played. I don't think the game's length is really a deal breaker, but it's hard to justify the $60 price tag for a 30-hour game. All in all, Sonic Frontiers gave me the most nostalgia and fun out of a Sonic game in a very long time. I genuinely think if Sonic Team keeps this game as the blueprint for their next title and expands upon it, the future of Sonic is looking bright, and maybe one day Sonic can begin to rival Super Mario again. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts on Sonic Frontiers or just this video in general. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see all of you beautiful people next time.